Hi students, in last class we had discussed about heat and temperature differences broadly. Today we are going to learn the relation between joule and calorie. What about the joule, which is the SI unit of heat? What about the calorie, CGS unit? Let me tell, already told you, heat is one form of energy. Energy SI units, you know well, joule. Obviously heat SI units also joule. Coming to the CGS unit, calorie. We are going to have the numerical relation between joule and calorie. 1 calorie equal to 4.186 joules, which is very important numerical relation in between a calorie and a joule. Those are the units of heat. Which is the CGS unit? Joule is the SI unit. Now you can derive one more relation also. Joule to calorie, 0.24 calories, not calories, calories. Calorie heat units, CGS units of heat. Got it? This is very important relation. Next, absolute temperature. One more concept, absolute temperature. Absolute temperature are 0 Kelvin. Absolute temperature value 0 Kelvin. What is absolute temperature, sir? The temperature which is being measured in Kelvin scale. Which has the value of 0 Kelvin. In your textbook you have to note down 0 Kelvin is nothing but the absolute temperature. You know well, Kelvin is nothing but SI unit of temperature. Yesterday in last class we had learned, right? Kelvin scale. Got it? Very next concept, how to convert Kelvin to degree centigrade to Kelvin. Before you are going to learn about this conversion, you have to learn one relation, that is degree centigrade minus 0 by 100 equal to Kelvin minus 273 by 100. Some more scale is there also, Ramer, and one more Fahrenheit. There is no need to know about Fahrenheit, Fahrenheit scale relation. Now by this you can learn centigrade degree centigrade minus 0 equal to Kelvin minus 273. Now C minus 0 is nothing but degree centigrade. C equal to K minus 273. That means Kelvin minus 273. Now Kelvin equal to C plus 273. When you would like to convert centigrade to Kelvin, you have to add 273 plus 273. Got it? So let me come again. 100 and 100 cancel here. So then what about the relation next? C minus 0 equal to K minus 273, C equal to K minus 273, K equal to C plus 273. Let me convert one degree centigrade, 20 degree centigrade in kelvins. What about the kelvins? For Kelvin, what you have to do? For Kelvin, centigrade plus 273. What about the centigrade? Temperature given here 20. That's why 20 plus. What about the next? 293 Kelvin. Let me take one. 30 degree centigrade. You can convert. K equal to, what about the temperature? Temperature degree centigrade 30 plus 273 equal to 303 Kelvin. Simple. If you would like to convert centigrade to Kelvin, you have to add 273. Sir, what we have to do? When we would like to convert Kelvin to centigrade, degree centigrade? Simple. You have to subtract 273 from the given value. Let me tell some more example. Have you understood well this concept? Very, very important conversion of Kelvin to degree centigrade. Here some more relations are there. A Raman scale is there, Fahrenheit, F minus 32 by 180, like that, Ramars. See, there is no need to learn that thing. You are going to learn in intermediate, which is enough to learn this. What about the boiling point of water? Boiling point of water, 100 degree centigrade, you know well. There onwards it gets vaporized. Now, can you convert into Kelvin? What about the degree centigrade? 100. In Kelvin scale, K equal to C plus 273. C means 100 degree centigrade, temperature 273, therefore 373 Kelvin. 373 Kelvin. Boiling point of water is 373 Kelvin temperature. Boiling point of water. Vice versa, you can convert these kelvins into degree centigrade by 373 Kelvin minus 273 equal to, what about that? 100, which is degree centigrade. Vice versa. Simple. If you want to convert into Kelvin, you have to add 273. When you converting degree centigrade to Kelvin, you have to add 273. Vice versa, if you would like to convert to degree centigrade, Kelvin to degree centigrade, you have to subtract the value of 273 from the given value. Have you understood well? This one very simple conversion. One simple problem given in your textbook. Convert 20 degrees centigrade into Kelvin. 293 Kelvin. 293 Kelvin or 20 degrees centigrade. If you subtract 273 from this, you can get this value again. Okay? Which is very simple. Next. Today's very important concept we are going to have, that is specific heat. Have you ever ate samosa? Sir. So what kind of question you are asking? Have you ever ate watermelon? Have you ever felt? Some scientific reasons, you know, when samosa upper layer appears to cool, when you relatively comparing to the inside, there is the reason, that is every substance has different different specific heat capacities. So let's move to the specific heat capacity. As very important relation we are going to derive. Which is generally indicated by capital S, specific heat capacity. Let me take on beaker I have filled this beaker with 250 ml of water. While same quantity, same volume beaker, again I have taken and I have filled this beaker with 1000 ml. Heat up well. Up to attain 60 degrees centigrade, both. In both beakers water should attain 60 degrees centigrade. Do remember the one thing, the initial temperature of both beakers and the filling water they were at initially same temperature. You have to heat up this beaker and this beaker. Now you might have observed what thing? In order to attain same temperature, which beaker's water taken more time to absorb heat? Which beaker? 1000 ml beaker, which has more quantity of water. That means, coming to the mass, you may take like mass of the water 250, mass of the water 1000. In your textbook, he has given in grams. No problem. Which is very simple. Whether 250 ml water takes more time or 1000 ml of water takes more time to heat up to 60 degrees centigrade. Up to 60 degrees centigrade, 1000 ml water takes more time, which is very simple experiment. Because the heat absorbed by the substance is directly proportional to the mass. Where you have more mass, here you may take as M1, M2, M1 which is less than M2, That's why M2 means beaker 2. Beaker 2. In which beaker we have filled 1000 ml of water. It has taken more time to get 60 degrees centigrade. Our objective to heat up to 60 degrees. Both water beakers. It has taken more time. Generally, it takes more time. See, why? Why, sir? Because I'm going to explain you. Simple experiment. Low mass takes low time to get heat up, and high mass takes more time to get heat up. That means absorb heat, which creates variation in temperature. Leave it aside. Now let me tell one thing. The heat absorbed by the substance heat, generally indicated by Q, is directly proportional to mass, which is indicating by small m, where temperature constant, moreover delta T constant. Already told you, initial temperatures of water same, temperature constant. Second beaker has more mass, that's why it takes more time. First beaker has less mass, that's why to get heat, to get rise up by absorbing heat up to 60 degrees centigrade, it has taken more time. Second beaker. First beaker, low time, because it has 250 ml of water only. See, if you'd like to supply heat to the given substance, more heat should be absorbed by the substance when it has more mass. That means Q is directly proportional to M. Again, second one, Q is directly proportional to delta T. T means temperature, delta T means small temperatures. Delta T, some derived quantities, derivations like that. Delta T. Now where is M constant? When heat supplies, temperature changes. That's why. See, Q is directly proportional to M, Q is directly proportional to delta T. When more heat should supplied, more temperature change will be occurred. See, Q is directly proportional to M, Q is directly proportional to delta T. Let me write, let it A and B. From A and B, you can write Q is directly proportional to M delta T. If you'd like to equate, Q equal to M S delta T, where S is specific heat capacity. Specific heat capacity. This is the relation in between heat and specific heat capacity. Q equal to Ms delta T, where capital S. Have you understood this thing? More mass, more heat. More heat, more temperature change. Q is directly proportional to M, Q is directly proportional to delta T. More water, it takes more time to get the temperature 60 degrees centigrade, constant temperature, like that. While comparing to the first beaker water. See, Q equal to ms delta T. See what we have derived now, Q equal to ms delta T. T means temperature, delta T means also temperature. So no need to worry, delta T, delta S means small changes. See, it indicates small change in temperature. See, now S equal to Q by m into delta T. Have you understood well? See, this quantity is multiplying. Yes, this side it is multiplying here. So Q by m, it is multiplying here. So that's why by delta T. So Q by m delta T. Leave it aside. Yes. Specific heat S equal to Q by m delta T. This is the specific heat formula. Q by m delta T. Okay? Specific heat S equal to Q m delta T. Simple. Q is directly proportional to m, means it is always directly proportional to the mass, and which is directly proportional to the delta T, temperature change. Therefore Q equal to, you have to introduce one constant, then only you can equate. That's why ms delta T, S equal to Q by m delta T. Now units, number of time which is being asked in your board exams like SSC board examinations, these units very important. SI units, CGS units of specific heat. Do remember one thing, students. You might felt before in before classes, units are very difficult. No, units are very simple. When you remember the formula, when you remember the concerned physical quantity formula, it's enough. Formula is very important. S equal to Q by m delta T. Simple. Now you would like to derive SI units. See, SI unit of specific heat, S equal to, what about the Q? Q, heat. Is it heat or not? Heat SI unit? Heat SI unit? Joule. Heat SI unit, joule. Now mass SI unit, kilograms or kg. Now temperature SI unit, Kelvin, over joule kg Kelvin. SI units, joule per kg Kelvin. You can, of course, you can write like this: kg inverse, Kelvin inverse, your wish, or this one also, joule per kg Kelvin. Specific heat units, joule per kg Kelvin. Now CGS units. Again, what about the CGS unit of heat? CGS unit of heat, calorie. Mass, gram. Temperature, degree centigrade, over. These are the CGS units. Calorie per gram degree centigrade. Very important. Okay, when you remember the formula, The derivation of units are very simple unless may find difficulty. Now specific heat definition. What is specific heat? Specific heat is the amount of heat required to rise the temperature of unit mass substance by 1 degree centigrade. So let me tell again definition. Definition should be accurate. Student, do remember, you have to write definition should be accurate. Moreover, in heat concept or of course physics, you should be accurate in every definition, like evaporation, boiling point, everything. Right? Now specific heat. Of course, for specific heat numerical value, you know, some derivation also we have derived here. And coming to the specific heat definition. The amount of heat required to rise the temperature of unit mass of substance by 1 degree centigrade. This is the definition. Got it? Now one more relation is there, you have to remember. Here specific heat calorie per gram degree centigrade equal to, you can write as 4.186 into 10 to the power of 3 joule kg Kelvin. This is also one important. So you know, to remember this, which is very simple, calorie to joule conversion 4.186 kg Kelvin, I mean joules. Coming to the, why we have added here 10 cube, because here MKS units, that's why, or SI units, calorie per gram degree centigrade equal to 4.186, those are important values. Very interesting thing, why when you are staying in Vizag, you may feel cool throughout the day. If you are, especially in summer, if you are in Hyderabad, you may feel hot. So what's the difference, sir? What's the difference? Yes, the difference is being made by specific heat. Specific heat. You know well specific heat formula, S equal to Q by M delta T. You can write this one as, always specific heat is indirectly proportional. The given heat is constant, mass is constant, but temperature is varying here. That means more specific heat, less temperature change. Inverse proportion. The relation in between temperature and specific heat, inverse proportion. Inverse proportion. Specific heat to temperature. More specific heat, less temperature change. More temperature change, less specific heat. Let me, give an idea with an example. Water specific heat 1 in calorie/gram Kelvin, which has highest specific heat. Water has highest specific heat, among the materials given in your substances given in your textbook table. Vizag situated side of sea, coming to the Hyderabad, plateau area, that means rock, that means soil, like land, which is surrounded by land, landlocked state, Hyderabad, area, coming to the Vizag situated beside sea. Here the region water takes to heat up, to rise its temperature more time. Water takes more times to heat up. That means if you'd like to rise its temperature, it takes more time to rise up and more time to lose its temperature. If you take rocky area, rock takes less time to heat up and less time to lose its temperature. Let me tell again.
Why Vizag be cool throughout the day? Why not Hyderabad? Because soil has less specific heat if relatively compared to the water. Water gets heat slowly and it rises up its temperature slowly and gets down its temperature slowly. That's why we can say water has more specific heat. And land gets heat fast, that means temperature change very fast. That's why they feel very hot. Immediately rise up temperature and lose temperature immediately. That's why they feel very uncomfortable. Coming to the Vizag people, they feel cool because water loses its temperature slowly, not fast. That's why throughout the day they feel cool because water has more specific heat. The geographical benefit of water, Vizag is which is surrounded by water, at least 1/4 part. See, why? Because specific heat. One more definition, simple definition for specific heat. Finally, you can define simple definition. The reluctance of change its temperature is known as specific heat. Specific heat is nothing but slowly gets rise its temperature and slowly gets down of its temperature. That means specific heat is more. Specific heat applications is, we are going to learn next class. Thank you. Do observe while you are eating samosa. Okay? While eating potato and upper layer. Do observe. You are going to learn betterly. Okay?